The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the ACW Cruiserweight Championship. And the American Giant from South Beach, Richard Delicious.
He does look good, Trevin.
I don't know if that sigh came through, but ladies and gentlemen, former ACW Cruiserweight Champion Richard Delicious. He's got Aspen Rose and the American Giant. I didn't even know the American Giant was going to be here tonight. Collectively, they are known as the sexiest team ever, STE. Notice I enunciated there. We'll talk a little bit about how he became the former ACW Cruiserweight Champion.
Well, we've got a great angle here. Look at Richard Delicious.
You should see it when they're all together.
Very offensive chant coming from the crowd here, Trevin.
Yeah, not surprisingly, Port Richie are not fans of Richard Delicious and his posse. I wish you could hear this young man. Gulfview Square Mall, definitely fans of Johann Ramzes. It was just about 1 month ago, Johann Ramzes at WWN and ACW present Southern Stampede 2016 actually won that championship. It was a triple threat match where Richard Delicious was defending against Snoop Strikes, who we'll see a little bit later tonight, and Johann Ramzes, who was successful in that matchup. Well, as you'd imagine, former champion wanting his rematch clause, taking advantage of it, and demanding he wants that one-on-one chance, saying things will be different tonight when Johann Ramzes has to face our friend Delicious. But MSL, as a man who may have a little bit of an experience of managing folks, oh, yeah, that too. You got to think Richard Delicious having this whole posse with him. If I'm Johann Ramzes, how do you keep your eye on all these people and also pay attention to a match?
Well, there's obviously strength in numbers, Trevin. You know, you look at a guy like Johann Ramzes, who so many people have said to me, what a bright future this young kid has, what an incredible talent he is. But when you win championship gold early in your career, sometimes it can go to your head. I'm not saying that's the case with him, but Richard Delicious, he has lost that championship, and nothing hurts more than winning a title and then losing it. So I think Richard Delicious is so motivated going into this match, and he doesn't care if it takes Aspen Rose, an American Giant, a 2x4, a Mack truck. He just wants his belt back.
Well, I'll tell you this. Richard Delicious was synonymous with that championship for months on
Put it
end.
on the map. The greatest cruiserweight American combat champion in history. Timekeeper was so busy admiring his physique, he forgot to ring the bell. Ducks under into the waistlock here. Wow. Richard Delicious. What a great night it would be if he was champion again.
I was going to say, I don't think the timekeeper could see through the American Giant, who is so big, he's about on eye level with the people in the ring. As Johann Ramzes works on the arm of Richard Delicious here. Beautiful snapmare, keeping controlling the pace. You got to think Richard Delicious has been really so used to being the champion that now having to go after the championship, it's got to be a totally different strategy, Em.
Well, yeah, and especially in a sport like pro wrestling where, you know, in most organizations you can't win a title on a countout or a disqualification. The mentality as a challenger is so much tougher in pro wrestling than it is in any other sport.
Oh, absolutely. No question there. Albeit once again, looking outside the ring. You can see how big the American Giant is. As I hate to say this, but I do believe they call him the American Sex Machine.
Well, I don't know, but I'm not going to test the machine and make sure it works. You can tell me later.
And did you see that stop there by Johann Ramzes on the elbow of Richard Delicious?
Right to the funny bone, and there was nothing funny about that. Richard Delicious is in pain. He needs time to recover here.
Yeah, once again, American Giant so big we can barely even see inside the ring.
Richard Delicious looks like he's recovered here a little bit. Oh, outsmarts him completely. The brains of Richard Delicious, the tastiest brains in all of ACW.
Beautiful shoulder tackle by Richard Delicious. I talk a lot about, well, you're seeing it right there, the facade that is STE. But bottom line, he is really an accomplished competitor. Dangerous when he gets going, but is he able to keep up with the speed of Johann Ramzes? Who again, working on that arm for pretty much the entire match, Mr. St. Laurent. So you gotta think Johann got a strategy, effectively executing it. And when it comes to the defense of a Richard Delicious, not sure if he knew what to expect from Johann.
Well, he stays right on that arm like you talked about.
There you go. Into the submission, and you got to think, if it wasn't for Aspen Rose distracting the referee.
There's a bug in the ring. She's letting the ref know.
Oh, of course. That's important. While you're looking at it, there's a little kid bouncing in a thing behind the ring, too. So, you know, why don't we stop the match for that? And thanks to that, now Richard Delicious taking control, posting Johann Ramzes.
Sends him right to the floor.
That is not a good place to be.
Yeah, but it's smart strategy for Richard Delicious. You've got extra people out there. You might as well take advantage of it. Plus, he just cares about the well-being of Johann Ramzes. Give him a break. He's taking this beating from Richard Delicious. You know, he needs to rest. Richard Delicious is a man of virtue, Trevor.
I don't think that was enough time of a rest. That beautiful snap suplex there. And Johann kicking out at 2. You saw it right beforehand, though. Richard taking advantage of that beautiful lock of hair on Johann Ramzes. You got to watch these guys. I'm telling you, MSL.
Well, it's his fault for growing out all that hair. If you're going to grow it, I'm going to pull it. Nice senton there from Richard Delicious.
Yeah, beautiful running. Effectively delivered into the pin. We're only able to keep the champion down for about 2.
Richard Delicious doesn't have quite as much hair as he used to, but I think it comes in handy.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
As a wrestler.
I'm going to leave that one alone. You guys are missing out here watching FlowSlam.tv. If this is your first time ever seeing Richard Delicious and the rest of the sexiest team ever, you are missing out. We'll have to have a highlight video on that at some point, but beautiful drop kick there, Ed.
Look how proud Aspen Rose is.
It's that boot to the face into the pin. And again, Johann Ramzes able to kick out. I just don't understand sometimes.
Well, he's outnumbered here, right? It's 3-1. He's got to have eyes in the back of his head. And they're covered up by all that hair, so he's really at a disadvantage.
Running forearm to the face of Johann. Again, Delicious in control.
Delicious likes to take his time. When you're Delicious, there's no rush. You got to savor it.
And he's heading to the top. We don't see Delicious on the top rope very often. Misses that moonsault. Sexiest team ever. Is that the ugliest moonsault ever?
Well, I mean, it was an almost moonsault. You got to applaud the effort and A for effort for Richard Delicious, but man, what were you thinking, dude?
Once again, I don't understand why in general ST is allowed at ringside, but regardless, Johann is overcoming the distractions, in control. Beautiful DDT. And nearly retaining, but not enough.
The American Giant very upset at ringside. Thought his man was about to fail in his bid to recapture that championship.
Now Johann has him up. And a fireman, a lot of places he can go from here, but a rake of the eyes, I do believe, by Delicious. And as he pops him up for that knee and that spinning forearm, dumping him on his head. I don't even know what to call that, M.
Snapmare driver, essentially.
And somehow Johann Ramzes kicks out. As you put it, a snapmare driver. Seen a lot of men put away by Richard Delicious.
Well, he can't believe it. I mean, complete disbelief from Richard Delicious, but he needs to stay on him. He's got his man hurt. He needs to capitalize here.
Now Now Johann starting to fight back. Exchange of forearms here. Oh, a knee connecting. Got a big buddy taking out Richard. But somehow cognizant enough to get back to his feet. Misses a knee of his own. And now again up in this fireman. Dumping his neck over his knee, M.
So dangerous.
Indeed. Johann Ramzes now low and a boot up in the corner, and Aspen Rose in the ring. Come on, referee. Thank you.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Referee Jamie Tucker, senior official here in WWN. Thank you so much, Jamie Tucker. Clearing the ring, doing the right thing. And you know what, Em? This is shades of the Southern Stampede. STE made the mistake of getting involved too many times there, too. Got themselves eliminated from ringside. They may have cost Richard, but the distraction into the roll-up. Not enough, and instead, is that like a cattle mutilation? I can't quite see.
Variation on the Rings of Saturn here.
That's it. Johann Ramzes retains.
And still, the ACW Cruiserweight Champion, Johann Ramzes.
And I'll tell you right there, STE getting banned from ringside. Richard Delicious attempting to take advantage. That roll-up really could have been it, but instead, Johann with just enough ring awareness hits the submission, and we still have a Cruiserweight Champion, Johann Ramzes.
And we're going to have a devastated Delicious tonight here, man, because he was so close. He was so close, and if it wasn't for his posse, as you said, being ejected here, he may very well have become the Cruiserweight Champion once again, and I know everybody here wanted to see it.